What's going on, everybody? Voidlego here, back with a brand new episode of Chaos Head Noah. Last time we're on, Takumi finally decided to, maybe it's about time I should get a doctor's checkup. And so he went to a doctor's checkup, had a negative delusion in which he envisioned that the doctor told him that he's always been in the hospital and he never got out. But thankfully, after snapping out of it, he got an evaluation and told the doctor in simple terms of like, maybe I've been sleepwalking. And so he goes to sleep and has a quote unquote good delusion with serotonin, and not the exactly sexy way, more of a uh I guess the proper term would be uroguro. Uroguro, is that how you say it? Uroguro way. um in which he turned 2D because serotonin sucked out all of his organs, which was very disturbing. And then he finally woke up, filled out a form, and he went back home and decided to investigate a little bit further by checking the images Shogun had sent him before of the man crucified against the wall. And he brightened up the image just a little bit more, and he found himself actually in the image running away from the corpse with nobody else there, which raises up many more questions. We then cut to a police meeting discussing the New Gen murders, and we are introduced to a new detective buddy named Ban and his partner as well. And it turns out they have found security camera footage of Takumi running away from the crime scene, but fortunately they don't know it's Takumi, but they do recognize his school uniform. So the police are closing in on Takumi, and it won't be long until they finally get to him, and it ain't looking too good for Takumi's case. Just saying. And we also had another scene with Yua, who I feel like we can definitely confirm that Yua does believe that Takumi has some sort of dissociative identity disorder, as we saw on her computer. He has something to that effect, perhaps, maybe. That's what she thinks, at least. And it is not hard to argue against that by this point. Is Shogun really Takumi? We can't really confirm nor deny it. We can definitely say for sure that Takumi has a disturbed mind. I feel like that's very much definitive, and it's an interesting case of like, does he have such a disturbed mind to kill somebody via another personality, quote unquote, via Shogun? Um, and I can't make heads or tails really. I can't really like say definitively like, oh yeah, Takumi's definitely the culprit, or he's completely innocent because, well, he's not a reliable narrator. He really isn't. We can't trust every single thing he seizes because, well, he has delusions all over the damn place. And as we saw from that quote unquote good delusion from last time, even in his best dreams where he's, kissing his, favorite waifu, it still has that disturbing morbidness to it. It is still very much disturbing, even though it's supposed to be good. So it really does. It's a good telltale sign to the audience, or at least to me, at least, that Takumi is disturbed in a way, and it could be from the whole his field trip classmates getting to a bus crash. And well, from his inner monologue, he said like, "Oh, I was faking it. I was, completely faking it, and nobody, I just shut my mouth closed because I just wanted to annoy them all. And how dare they, add the whole post-traumatic disorder to me because I never had it. I just faked it." And well, I feel like maybe he actually does have some trauma from that. He just doesn't want to admit it. We've seen that multiple times here, how his inner thoughts betray his actual actions in reality. So it is not far to say that he does have some sort of post-traumatic, some trauma from witnessing his classmates get into a bus accident, and I think one of the teachers dying, if I remember correctly. But whatever it is, maybe something in his past, he is disturbed. How exactly is the question? And how far does it go? Is it enough to make a second personality that's, quote unquote evil and goes out and kills people? Who knows? Maybe, maybe not. But either way, it's not looking good for Takumi's case, and I feel like the police are going to arrest him because the evidence against him is pretty damn high. And considering nobody else has seen that quote unquote demon girl that he saw at the crucifixion, and yeah, we really haven't gotten any information on her, the two other girls we saw scenes with as well. So far, still in this game, I'm like, I think this is episode 4 or episode 5. I still don't know exactly what the hell is going on here. I don't I don't know how to make of it so far. And maybe that's the point. Maybe that is the point, because this game is obviously dealing with the themes of like what is reality, what is delusion, what is fake, what is real, and so it's really up to the viewer, at least so far for me, since I haven't gotten all the way into it, that it's maybe just up to us to decide like what really is going on in this story, which I like a lot. I like when stories leave it up to the viewer to interpret and make their own conclusions. I always love stories about that very much, as you saw in Yume Neko. But yeah, I had a comment last episode that did recommend me that after I finish the second ending, aka like ending B, I should go through the rest of the game 3 times in order to see every possible route for every delusion scene, the good, the bad, and the neutral. Which I'm very curious. If you guys really do think I should go through those, because how much substance do those delusion scenes really have in order for me to constitute playing for the game 3 times, in order to see every outcome of those delusions? If they are substantial, I will do it. I will like speed through it and go back through all those scenes if they are very substantial. And I think that might actually be the case with the little delusion scenes we've already seen, as they do give a good viewpoint within Takumi's psyche. And also the neutral, no delusions at all, would probably actually help us get more insight into like what is actually happening in the world instead of Takumi's delusions. You guys can tell me if you guys really want me to see me do that. I'll fucking do it. I'll go through this game 15 million times if it means just more I guess insight into the story. But anyway, enough talking. Let's get right into it. It hurt to breathe. All I was doing was looking things up on my PC, yet it hurt to breathe. I could feel my heart pounding harder than it ever had before. And of course, the feeling that something was watching me would not go away. I was still just barely keeping myself from turning around, but I knew I couldn't do it for much longer. I cried out angrily at whatever it was. Surely it wasn't the demon girl, right? Oh God, what if it was? She could be using using second sight or clairvoyance or some other demonic power to spy on me. Oh shit. The chills on the back of my neck were gradually growing stronger to the point where they get getting slightly painful, like jolts of electricity coursing through my body. I was covered from head to toe in sweat. The front of my t-shirt was completely soaked. Unable to take it anymore, I ripped around in my chair as forcefully as I could. Yet all I saw was my room, in the same condition as always. I didn't see a single thing that shouldn't have been there. Fucking losing it, man. With a yell that was closer to a shriek than anything, I burst up from my chair and went to make sure the door was locked, and much to my relief it was. I wiped it away the sweat on my forehead with my sleeve. You could also interpret Takumi always feeling like he's watched. You can construe it as either A, he's just afraid of somebody, out to get him since he did witness a murder, or B, you can constitute it as his guilt manifesting of somebody, found out about his murders. Like subconsciously, his guilt is like getting at him that somebody is out there watching him, seeing what he has, done, or the second personality has done, or whatever else. But I'll go with the first for right now. Or, I mean, it could be a mix of both. Who knows? Whoa. Quake FOV for a second. Returning to my PC, I focused on the monitor once more. It was still displaying what I had been researching earlier, precognition. When I was a kid, I truly believed that precognition existed, that psychics exist, and if I was being completely honest, I still did to a good degree. That was why my first thought had been that the image from the Shogun and the demon girl was a precognitive photograph, a thought which only drove me to look into it all the more. What if, maybe, just maybe, there were tons of psychics all over the world and I just didn't know? Back when I was a kid, when that bus accident happened, I managed something that had been pretty close to precognition. For that reason, I could not completely rule out its existence. But no matter how much I searched, all I could find was extremely dubious articles about the occult, voodoo shit, or whatever else. There was absolutely nothing that provided the scientifically whether it existed or not. Well, it's more of like a pseudoscience.
一つぐらいあってもいいだろう。
Growing increasingly frustrated, I violently tapped away at my keyboard. I couldn't deal with how anxious not having a concrete answer made me. Was the world really telling me to give up, to wait here trembling in fear of demons that might not come? I couldn't stay sane like that. Of course, I would vastly prefer to learn that that precognition didn't exist, but regardless of what the truth was, I needed to know it badly. Pretty much out of options, I decided to take a look at Channel's occult board. The place was typically home to nothing but total BS noise, lies, and misinformation, mainly. But it actually had some pretty mind-blowing and even useful information scattered on it sometimes. Biting back how frantic I was, I opened up Channel. Then I clicked on the occult board and gave precognition a search. And when I did... Ooh. Precognition prophecies. Phantasm General New Gen 43. Shiddly predicting the future of Japan. Precognition Fred 6. Number of dudes. Oh, dudes? Oh, hell yeah. It's like Skya. Who want FES Tan. Queen of Precognition to kick their shit in. The Messiah. FES Precognition Discussion. Phantasm. Ain't it FES the Persona 3 expansion? Fuck Phantasm, Fred 11, more like Superstition. What do you guys think of Phantasm's prophetic songs? Career precognition, in my opinion. Why Phantasm are little murderers pretending to have precognition, part 5. If you've had precognitive dreams, get your ass in the Fred. Trolls, get the fuck out. Walking off to hear FES's prophecies, precognition, IRL, part 3. My search pulled up a surprising number of threads, about 30 of them. Was precognition a hot topic on Ad Channel at the moment? With a gulp, I checked the thread titles one by one.
Phantasm. FES.
Fucking goddamn Phantasm. Most of the threads contained those two key words. In addition, New Gen discussion had also wormed its way in, with lots of unsettling terms like prophetic lyrics and murderer being used. Okay. Is it... Well, FES Tan, Queen of Precognition, to kick their shit in. Okay, I'm gonna guess Phantasm is a band, and FES is one of the members, maybe? Having never heard of Phantasm before, I went to Google them. Apparently they were a Shibuya-based 4-piece goth punk band that had been doing live concerts recently. Okay. They were so popular, in fact, that they were completely dominating the indie music scene, with a female vocalist known only as FES. Okay, so I was right. Anyway, to check whether it was related to precognition or not, I clicked on the thread at the top titled Precognition Prophecies, Phantasm Journal, New Gen 43, and gave the contents a brief skim. Whoa. Once you look at this. Alright. Precognition prophecies. Calm your tits, everyone. But yeah, let's all go to the concert someday. Those who do enjoy FES Sama's Black Mass without letting any of it to go to waste miss out and you'll be getting the crucifixion treatment. Wow. I read the lyrics, but it still feels like a stretch. Phrasing is fake as shit. There's no way any are actual prophecies. If I'm wrong, though, have mercy on me, crucifixion killer. Well, going to precognition or prophecy or whatever the fuck is taking it way too far now. This ain't Nostradamus, so how about we just sit back and enjoy the music for what it is? Huh. FEA stuff ain't bad lyrically, but I def can feel the new generation connection to BH. Everyone always talks about FES. Look at the composer Rio. Poor guy's getting no credit. FES Tan. FES Tan's lyrics forcing me to find the meaning of life. It's a trap. FES. Oh my god. Damn. I have to say, like, props to the translation team. This is just how people fucking interact online. I mean, it just is. Yes. Total shitters, bro. Yep. Well, to be honest, I want to be insulted by Effie as someone that chill voice of hers while she grinds up her boots into my ass over and over until it feels like my eyes are going to fall out of their sockets. It would feel so intoxicating to stop on the edge right at the last moment, and so erotic as I wonder if she'll spit on my face or not. No matter what you think, I want FES to just take a knife and cut open my throat, ending my life. I want to breathe my last breath as she says to me, "You're an eyesore." FES 10 is my rifle. Smile. Yeah. Yeah. You know what? I'm thinking back to Steins Gate, the bit I remember from it, and then I do remember, it did have the internet aspect to it, not as much as this, as, they reinterpret John Tudor, for example, and reinterpreted that actual poster from the year 2000 that was a quote unquote time traveler and reconstituted as a different thing in Steins Gate, which was really cool as well. I feel like I that's actually, I feel like, a big credit to well, admittedly, the only two science adventure novels I've seen or read, is that the writers really do have a good grasp on how the internet works. A lot of writers, really don't have a good grasp on like how the internet works and how people talk on it. Here, it's once again, I have to say, it's really really good on how they're able to grasp that and able to write in that internet way. I guess is the best way to say it. I mean, for God's sake, 8chan is just 4chan. Take that to the BDSM, Fred. Also, Fias is my waifu, actually. Stop bumping this shit. Is what you guys mean by new gen prophecy stuff? Oh, okay. Oh, we got some lyrics here. O servant, revealed by the light of the moonlight night, connect the phantasma paths which lead to this place. Little do they know, their screams will soon turn to silence, and repose shall fall upon us as we wink hand in hand within the wind. By the way, I say fuck Phantasm. Like, wow, the fans are terrifying. I think they were all brainwashed. Now you're gonna get it. Don't read the lyrics, dumbass. What a brainless troll. Those lyrics. Depending on how you interpret them, they could be seen as referring to the group dive. Yeah, and yet those lyrics had been released 2 months ago, which meant they had been written after the crucifixion.
これが予知ってこと?
Man, I feel like you're just trying to connect anything to anything at this point. Could it be just a coincidence? Or could Phantasma be yet another one of the demon girl's underlings? Yes, entire, indie goth band is definitely one of the underlings of a demon girl. I read the thread in more detail, only to find out that each of the 3 new gen incidents had all been prophesized by Phantasm's lyrics. However, the lyrics for the songs that supposedly prophesized the man child and crucifixion incidences had not been posted at channel. Apparently, uploading them online was viewed as a taboo of sorts. The prophecy seemed to be, if you really want to know, just go to the concerts and buy an album yourself. Interesting, okay. Regardless, there were a great number of people online trying to predict the next new gen case based on the songs Phantasm had performed thus far. Apparently, ever since new gen kicked off, Phantasm's albums have been completely selling out. Okay, so we have Precognition, and now we have a goth indie band. And there's been these group suicide and a guy with a fetus stuffed inside of him, and a guy crucified to a side of a wall with a bunch of crucifixes. What the fuck is going on in this game? They had been so successful, in fact, that even the mainstream media had picked up on it. Gothic band boasting cult following rises among the youth of Shibuya. News stories like that were popping all over the place. The one writing the lyrics was the head singer, FES. Nobody knew her real name. What if FES was actually the demon girl? If she was, it would explain how she managed to prophesize the incidences little months before they occurred. Demon girl was the culprit after all. I tried doing an image search, but I couldn't find any good photos of her face. All the pictures were taken by phones during her concerts, and they were so blurry that I couldn't even begin to make out her face. I wiped my sweat-drenched forehead with the hem of my shirt. I was frustrated. I was scared. I couldn't believe anything. I didn't even want to see anything. Several emotions swirled within me, suffocating me. My breathing hadn't even come close to stabilizing this entire time. But even so, I knew one thing for certain. I needed to see FES's face. With trembling fingers, I typed in Phantasm's name and clicked on their official website. Nice web design. The site was mostly black, decorated only by text of a uniform deep crimson color. It was unrelenting in simplicity, and yet felt so incredibly eerie and strange. Discography, huh? There was barely anything on the site at all, just basic information on their concerts and discography. There wasn't even a single image. There were no profiles of band members, nor anything on their song lyrics.
やっぱり犯人だけあってネットに顔写真が流出しないようにしてるのか。
Talk about thorough. I took a look at their performance schedule and saw that they typically performed about every other week. Their next concert was...
あさって。
Oh, shit. If I went to it, I'd be able to check whether FES was the demon girl or not. But even if I did find out they were one and the same, what would I even do? Report FES to the police? Cry and beg for her to leave me alone? Being a crucifix and attempt to mock exorcism? Yeah, none of those were going to happen. I was up against a demon. There was no way in hell an otaku freak like me could come out on top. Problem is, if I didn't, I died. She transformed my corpse into her newest art piece, and I'd be posted on the All Things New Gen site as yet another case.
そんなのやだ。
But if I didn't do something, I'd never find out what that picture of me that Shogun had sent really meant. And on the off chance that FES wasn't connected to Demon Girl, maybe I could ask her to help me fight against whoever the Demon Girl actually was.
だけどやっぱり無理だ。ライブなんて行けるわけがない。
I'd never been to one in my life. That sort of thing was infinitely beyond my comfort zone. Not to mention concert halls are cramped and dark and noisy and crowded. Just imagining a place like that made me want to hurl. Oh, it's either that Okay, it's either going to be one or two things. Either we go to the concert hall, Takumi has a delusion where he imagines that, like, everyone just, I don't know, kills themselves or whatever. Or two, it is an actual cult and everyone just drinks some Kool-Aid and drop dead. I was on my wits' end. I had no idea what to do. The chills on the back of my neck still hadn't gone away, and the painful prickling sensation suddenly turned into a burning one. I looked behind me yet again, but like always, nobody was there.
もうやめてよ。
I closed my eyes tightly, focusing on nothing other than waiting for the gaze to disappear. I didn't want to go through this torment for the rest of my life, for I knew the gaze would straight up kill me someday.
考えろ、匠。僕にできることを考えろ。
Think indeed. Hiding in the shadow of a telephone pole, I looked at the gigantic concert hall from afar. After agonizing over it all day yesterday, I somehow managed to nut up and did what needed to be done. So here I was, Gigantes. It was located on a narrow street in Shibuya, beneath the elevated railroad tracks, at a very distinct red brick exterior. The exterior was lit up too, giving off an old-fashioned ashtray vibe that made it feel as if I'd been transported back in time to the 50s or something. To think that a spot like this was in Shibuya of all places, I had no idea it even existed until yesterday. It was only 5 minutes from the station on foot, yet there weren't very many people at all. Every once in a while, a train would pass over the elevated tracks with a tremendous roar, and the telephone pole I was hiding behind would tremble slightly, but that was about it. Just a moment ago, there had been a bunch of what appeared to be Phantasm fans in front of Gigantics. Some of them were wearing outfits so out there I had almost mistaken them for cosplayers. However, what surprised me the most was that there weren't that many of them. Despite being such a huge topic online, there must have been no more than 100 people there. Well, that's the thing with you, Takumi. You're one of the brave ones. Everyone else just fucking, online just talks about it. So, good for you, Takumi. You're one of the brave ones. Regardless, they were all inside the building now. The concert had already begun, but since none of the audio managed to buoy outside, it certainly didn't feel like it. Whew. My heart palpitations had gone away after I'd fallen asleep yesterday, but they'd come back with a vague vengeance the second I arrived in front of the venue. It'd been so hard to breathe, I'd almost thought I was dealing with some kind of heart failure. But really, I knew exactly why it was so bad. This place was filled with a thick, impenetrable darkness. The demon girl and her underlings could be working around any corner. Knowing that, I'd been on the lookout for anyone that might attack me ever since I got here. The sheer anxiety and paranoia was comparable to what it felt like going through the Juan's volcano dungeon in ESO. Of course. Mobs in Alonzo volcano dungeon were OP as hell, and was surrounded by the kind of lava that insta-killed you if you so much as clipped it with your pinky toe. That shit could have been play-tested. The amount of times I died there, holy hell. I wiped the sweat off my forehead with a hand towel and gulped down a gob of saliva. Right as I did, the door at the top of the stairs opened, and the furious beating of drums reverberated from inside Gigants for a few seconds. A single guy exited from the door. He jogged nimbly down the stairs and then toward me. Oh shit. What the fuck? Fuck are you doing here, man? I invited Masumi-kun to go to the venue with me, as I didn't know his phone number. I'd been forced to go to school today just to ask him to go. If he hadn't come with me, I probably wouldn't have even made it this far. And even if I had somehow found myself to go into the building alone, if the demon girl was there, it would be a certified game over. So I had Masumi-kun operate as a scout. To feel bad about throwing him into the line of fire, so I hadn't told him about that part. The only people I could rely on were him and Namare, so I picked the less annoying of the two, Masumi-kun. I even covered his ticket cost, so in a sense you could say I hired him for 1,000 yen. Of course he did, man. Masumi-kun handed me a Phantasm album. They were being sold for an outrageous premium in online auctions, but I heard on ad channel that they were also available at their concerts, so I asked Masumi-kun to buy one for me. Now that I had one, I achieved half of the goals I set out for myself. As for the remaining half...
いやー、予想以上にいいな、ファンタズムって。
Of course, because they're all girls, huh, Masumi? Masumi-kun had been acting pretty excited ever since he exited the venue.
俺、あんまミーハーになりたくなかったんで聞こうとしなかったんだけどよ。今日ちょっと生で聞いただけでファンになっちまった。
The other thing I'd asked Masumi-kun to do was report on anything in particular that stood out about the band members. I knew they would all come out on stage once the concert started, so all I wanted him to do was a quick scan, then head back to me right after. And yet, despite my very specific instructions, he hadn't come back for a full 5 minutes after the show started. This was probably because he listened to the entirety of the first song.
特にボーカル。ありゃマジでいい女だぜ。お前、女見る目あるな。
Chorus, man. I sighed internally, thinking with the long head like usual. Why was I even surprised? So much for I'm no sheep.
どんな人だった？
ああ、そっか。報告な。なんか探偵みてえで面白いな。そう思わねえ？
Asumi-kun grinned to himself, and I pressed him again to tell me about FES's appearance.
髪型はショートカットだった。
Well, short hair.
え？
And just like that, there was already a huge discrepancy. Did that mean FES was in the Demon Girl? No, wait, I couldn't let myself jump to conclusions here. She could have cut her hair, or she could have used hair extensions, or she could have changed it in some other way. So it wouldn't be surprised me if she'd been in disguise when I'd seen her at the crime scene.
スタイルがすっげえ良くて、あと背が高かったな。ありゃ俺と同じぐらいはあるんじゃねえの？
So enough for people, for guys wanting to be stepped on, huh?
背が
In the same height as you? Masumi-kun and I were about the same height, which meant FES was probably around 170 centimeters tall. Pretty tall for a girl. Shit, how much? 170 centimeters. How much is that in feet? But I didn't get that impression at all when I encountered the demon girl. My memories from back then were hazy, but I still felt like the demon girl had been shorter than me. Yet another thing that didn't line up then.
他には
そうだな。アンニュイな雰囲気してたな。
Huh. She had bright pink hair?
声はクールってイメージかな。結構ボソボソと喋るタイプだった。胸のサイズはまあまあ。
Come on, man.
でもゴスパンの服は妙な色気があったぜ。ああいうのもありだな。断然あり。
God. I know I make comparisons to Bad War because same voice actor, but this really is just like a different version of Bad War. I mean, come the fuck on. Even always got to be about the tits as well. I mean, Bad War had a thing for tits as well, so. Oh, god damn it. Every single word he said was completely fucking useless. Then again, I only got a quick look at the demon girl, so I can't exactly list her features. This plan was probably doomed from the start.
っていうかよ、そんなにフェスに興味あるなら自分の目で見ればいいじゃねえか。ほら、行こうぜ。
Masumi-kun began to push me from behind, forcing me up the stairs to Gigants. I desperately tried to fight back, but Masumi-kun was stronger than me. I couldn't get away.
見たいんだろ、フェスの顔を。素直になるって。浮気ってのは男の性だよな。たくも大人になったもんだぜ。
God damn it, Masumi!
この前一緒に帰ってたメガネの子のことは今夜だけは気にすんなって。俺も田中のことは忘れるからよ。
What the hell was he talking about? Dude, I haven't been weighed yet, Masumi. I tried to stand my ground and fight back, but to my horror, I realized I was already at the top of the stairs. Well, it was the only second floor. If I were to slip and fall, it would hurt like hell. Just the thought made me stop resisting as hard. In that moment of weakness, my entire body weight was sent crashing through the door into the venue. Oh boy. The second I hit the inside, an explosion of sound blasted my eardrums. Never experienced something so loud before. Even the pit of my stomach was being forcibly shaken by the vibrations. It was so intense, it felt as if my entire body was being crushed to pieces. There were no seats in the venue, everyone was standing up to watch. There you go. They were all locking their bodies in rhythm with each other, shouting FES, 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 as their fists shot up and down. Still nowhere near the level of a Voidlego performance, though? That was a Voidlego. Now that's a tip I gotta look up. A unique sheriff performance has direction and fans enacted idol concerts and other live shows. Some performances have included very intense physical movements, with each and every one having a specific name to them. Fans and audience perform Voidlego in perfect coordination and sight to behold. Huh. Interesting. The heat was devastating. It made me want to vomit. Might have been an otaku, but I was definitely not the type to obsess over idols or voice actors. Honestly, I hated this kind of atmosphere. I could tell I stuck out like a sore thumb, but thankfully nobody was paying any attention to me. There were so many people in front of me I could barely see the stage at the far end of the room, just the blinding stage lights and the faint figures of 4 people sitting under them. And as I was getting overwhelmed by everything happening around me, Masumi-kun handed me a plastic cup of soda. Seemed like Masumi-kun had paid for my ticket too. I'd have to make sure to pay him back later. Before I knew it, the song was over. The audience clapped and cheered. Then, having seemingly calmed down a little, everyone brought down their fists. Thanks to that, the road to the stage finally opened up. I was able to see it clearly. I got a good look at the short-haired girl standing in the middle of the stage. She was definitely not the demon girl. Wait! That's the fucking girl we saw earlier! Yep, that is the girl that was singing tonight, and yeah, that's one hell of a goth outfit. Oh, damn. The voice coming through the amp sounded nothing like the demon girl that had said those cryptic words to me. Masumi-kun was right. FES definitely had a woof vibe to her. Yeah, nice eyeshadow and a bit of a kind of barbed wire choker. Jeez. Despite her short hair, she didn't feel boyish. She gave off this mysterious aura with a mix of charm, allure, and a hint of distance. To top it all, if the silver accessories she was wearing all glittered fantastically as they reflected the lights. I like her earrings. Very nice. Felt like I was starting to understand why there were so many threads about her on that channel. In this kind of concert, I always thought that the band members would be more energetic, but FES seemed incredibly indifferent during the intermission. She was pretty much the exact opposite of the excited audience. Maybe that was just the type of person she was. But it seemed like the audience wasn't surprised by that. They just stayed silent during the break, listening closely to FES's words. Cocytus. It sounds familiar. Cocytus. Greek mythology is one of the 2 rivers located at the entrance to the underworld. River of Lamentation. Yup, that's why it's familiar. I'm sorry, what? Cocytus? What language was she even speaking? Hmm.
でも今それは崩れつつある。とても不安定。だから私は歌うわ。
Balance of the world is crumbling, huh?
君たちのカオスを受け入れてあげる。
Also, I like her lipstick. Oh, I guess they were a goth punk band, so the band members probably had characters that they played. Maybe it was an easy way to win over the hearts of fans. Just spout some random nonsense that hinted that it might mean something, given enough mistake to keep people engrossed. Speaking of Mystique, FES was holding something strange in her hand. In her left hand was a pink, plain old mic, but in the other she was holding some sort of rotary-shaped mic stand. It looked kind of like a sword. It was shaped so elegantly it felt sinister. It looked so sharp that if you even so much as grazed it, it would slice your finger in two. It was huge, too, as tall as FES, in fact. There were also lines of glass embedded into it, which glowed with an ominous blue light. I couldn't tell if it was really a sword or not, but either way, it wasn't half bad as a character accessory. No complaints there. I was strangely captivated by it. Then, using only her right arm, FES casually lifted the huge mic stand. Now, with an underhanded grip, she swung it sideways. The blue light from the glass drew a light arc with its afterglow. What the hell? That was so dangerous! What if it hit someone in the crowd? That wasn't a mic stand. Could it be a sword? And every night she would use it to cut the throat of some poor audience member, harvesting blood to offer to the demon girl, or something. So was this concert actually some sort of black mass organized by a bunch of witches? Well, I wouldn't say that. Fierce chill ran down my spine just thinking about it. Goosebumps covered my entire body. Should really get out of here ASAP, but the moment I thought that, FES let out a gentle whisper.
次は3曲目
Oh boy.
密教の首飾り
Necklace of Vajrayana. The crowd let out a huge cry of joy upon hearing that. Oh shit. Damn, that is a sword! Also, fucking guy on guitar here, he looks like a fucking Disgaea 2 character. Or, no, not Disgaea 2. I feel like Disgaea 3. I don't know, he just looks like a Disgaea character. Oh shit. We got a whole song here. A moment later, the members of Phantasm all started playing, and a second flood of sound poured into my ears. This thunderous roar came from the speakers, a roar that felt like it was going to blow out my eardrums. How had these people not gone deaf yet, hanging out in places like this all the time? Looking to my side, I noticed Masumi-kun was fully into it, pumping his fists in sync with the rest of the audience. Damn. I kind of fuck with this song. I mean, I am a new metal type of guy, and I do listen to a bit of, you know, Breaking Benjamin, Linkin Park. Ooh. Especially early 2000s goth. Yeah, I'm into it. The intro ended. FES began to sing. When I heard the lyrics, I swallowed hard. She was singing the prophetic song that had been posted all over the channel. It was a dark piece that didn't feel the slightest bit optimistic. Even its melody felt like a religious psalm. And the lyrics definitely didn't help. Everyone was getting wowed up at first, but as the song went on, the excitement dropped further and further. By the end, everyone just stood there, not saying a word. But that was because everyone was fully lost in the sound. Some of them just stared at FES, completely entranced. There was definitely something about FES's singing voice that captivated people. Even as I battled fear and nausea in the middle of the crowd, I found myself listening very closely to her song, not wanting to miss it. Goosebumps sprang up all over me. For a moment, it felt like the air itself had frozen over. Damn, I gotta listen to the rest of that song. Actually, a bit of a beat to it. The song ended. Gotta look that up later. FES was looking down at the stage, swaying her body from side to side as she soaked in the last echoes of the music. And also, definitely, that wasn't a mic stand. That was just straight up a fucking, like, crystal sword she had. Very nice, concert prop, I have to say. And then she suddenly looked back up. Without even gazing around for a second, she instantly... Oh, shit. Oh, here we go. Looked at me. Ooh, shit. Okay, now I gotta let me see. Yeah, let me save over these since I don't have that many. Unfortunately, I don't have how many save points do I still have? Okay, I got about like 48, so I should probably use my saves sparing one. All right. So if I remember last time, I went bad then good. So this time, ooh, I'm curious what bad would be. What, she's just going to come down and like chop his head off with the sword or some other shit like that. But I'm curious about good. But I want to see bad. Maybe I should flip a coin now. I'm more curious about the good. I'm curious. And it wasn't like she just glanced in the general direction of my eyes, or like she briefly made eye contact with me or anything like that. FES was blatantly looking right at me. I'd even go as far as to say she was staring at me, fixedly, as if evaluating my existence, as if searching deep within my heart. Her gaze was all too intense, and yet, somehow she seemed a little sad. Here we go. As she descended from the stage into the audience, I couldn't take my eyes off her. What was going through her head, I wondered. The rest of the Phantasm members resumed playing. But FES wasn't singing this time. She just wandered about in the middle of the crowd. Then she casually threw her jacket off, exposing her sexy shoulders. Here we go. The previously quiet fans were getting excited once again. Everyone threw their fists in the air as they jumped up and down wildly. They made the ground shake so hard it felt like an earthquake. However, nobody laid a finger in FES. Maybe they thought she was too holy of an existence to be touched. Normally, if a girl with her charisma drove into the crowd, it wouldn't be surprising if they got crushed to death. But it seemed that Phantasm's herd of sheep had agreed to restrain themselves, all abiding by the unspoken rule of do not touch FES. And in doing so, they could feel FES's presence right in front of them. They could savor the fragrance of FES's sweat. They could touch the same air as FES. And that was the greatest joy her followers could ever know. Until this point, I thought that this was just any other performance, but I couldn't believe my eyes when I saw what FES did next. She casually began to unfasten the belt around her waist. And then she flew into the crowd. All of her followers instantly reached for it, competing with one another to lay their claim over it. Oh boy. Then with a sidelong glance at them, FES unzipped her miniskirt. Oh boy. This is going to get kinky, I think. Oh, or gory even. Her skirt gently fell to her feet. Damn, that is one hell of a fucking sword. Her black, sensual underwear was exposed. She seemed to not have a care in the world about her acolytes seeing her in such revealing clothing. Maybe she was high off the atmosphere of the venue, or maybe this was part of the performance, or maybe she was just an exhibitionist. I had no idea, but her utter eroticism kept my eyes glued to her all the same. FES looked at me once more. Her lips formed a bewitching smile. Fucking insane fucking, like, could you even call this a sword? What the fuck is this? FES's eyes were fixed on me, never once looking anywhere elsewhere. She slowly started approaching as if she had found her target. Then, when she finally arrived before my very eyes, as if I was her lover, she blew her sweet breath towards me and wrapped her arms around me. Okay. Okay, so when is it going to get gory? Because I feel like this is going to turn into some fucking, like, it's going to turn, like, into, like, the first scene in, like, Blade. You know, with all the the vampire club, and a bunch of blood just starts spurting out of the ceiling, and it all turns out to be fucking vampires and shit. Getting kind of the same vibe here. Her skin was sweatily damp with sweat. The scent and warmth were so alluring, they made me dizzy. Her breasts pressed up against me, quickly and repeatedly rubbing up and down my body. I guess it's true what they say about singing being exhausting, because I could feel her ragged breath directly on my skin. Her arms were wrapped around my back, holding me close. Her nails were digging into the nape of my neck, and her thighs were twined around my leg. Shivers ran through my entire body like jolts of electricity. I wasn't able to push her aside, nor could I return her embrace. The only thing I could do was stand still, staring at her with my eyes wide in confusion. God, I don't know why this scene just made me realize, but, like, when did this game come out? I feel like it came out, like, 2007, 2008? Like, around, definitely mid-2000s. And I'm definitely getting that mid-2000s vibe from this scene. Like, for example, like, Vampire the Masquerade, or hell, even Blood Omen 2. That sort of, like, gothic, modern, like, both erotic and disturbing vibe is the best way I can describe it. I don't know. I don't know how else to describe it, really, but you know that period of time, like, with Underworld and such, like, Bloodwine, like, where there was, like, a whole bunch of vampire media, and how it was all in, like, urban areas and shit like that, and especially in clubs, and it just had that vibe of, like, both sexy and disturbing, both gruesome and worrying. I mean, I'm definitely getting those vibes from this scene. Her followers cheered again, but this time the noises they made sounded more like screams. The music played by Phantasm intensified. Chants of FES echoed throughout the venue. The shouts of "Do it, do it" began to follow. Oh boy. Do it? Do what exactly? In a situation like this, what could they be talking about? I had no idea. FES, meanwhile, just kept tugging me in silence. Seeking help, I looked for Masumi-kun's silhouette in the crowd. But when I found him, to my surprise, he was sharing an intense kiss with a girl in the crowd I'd never seen before. Oh yeah. No, it wasn't just Masumi-kun. The rest of the acolytes, boys and girls alike, were throwing their clothes off, getting as naked as the day they were born. Oh hell yeah, concert orgy! Some embraced one another, others placed their lips together, and some were even beginning to do the deed. Hell screams of pandemonium contemplated the gluttony for carnal pleasure. Moans, groans, and the obscene sounds of flesh rubbing against flesh pervaded throughout the venue when Phantasm had just performed. This is a black mass. I finally realized this was an obscene feast hosted by the witch known as FES. And more importantly, the sacrifice brought in for the witch today was me. I had been chosen as the partner for FES. Was this really what a Phantasm concert was like? Man, golf concerts are awesome, dude. I was also beginning to lose myself in the atmosphere. I could feel a hazy mist engulfing my mind. I felt excitement towards what was to come, but also dread. I felt superior having been chosen by FES, but also completely entranced by ecstasy. I thought I was going insane, like time the world had stopped completely. Now what's that tip? What's that reference to? Short for the full quote. I'll tell you exactly what happened. I blank, but before I knew it, blank. I'm sure you don't understand what I'm saying, but I don't really understand it either. I thought I was going insane. It was anything simple like hypnosis, super speed. On top of that, I feel as if I got to experience a tip of the iceberg. Quotation from a popular manga about bizarre adventures, often used in order to come. Damn it! When? Well, obviously it's a reference to JoJo's, but I can't remember where exactly this was. If I was going insane. Is this from part 5? The only thing I can think of is part 5. Yeah, maybe it's from somewhere else. I'll look up the quote later. But anyway. FES's laughter reached my ears once more. Even in this flood of sound, I could hear her voice clear as day. What a sexy voice. Just hearing the sound of it put me on the verge of fainting. But FES was seducing me to diving further and further into this melting pot of pleasure. Her teeth lightly sank into my earlobe. She let out a sigh right into my ear, and then she whispered,
その目、誰の目?
Oh, shit. Oh. What the fuck?
フェスエロいよ、フェス。
Damn. And suddenly back home, sitting in front of my PC, hadn't gotten lost in another delusion of mine, and I had the queen of my pants. The concert I'd gone to earlier today was great inspiration. After all, as far as 3D girls went, FES was pretty nice. That said, the number of people in the crowd had been way too high. Hell would have had to freeze over for me to go there again. I wanted GTFO basically the entire time. Dude, I love that game. In the end, the size of the crowd made me too sick, so I had to rush to leave the venue. Today's delusion had been awesome. And who knows, maybe Phantasm and FES actually did that kind of stuff. Oh, hell yeah. You know, fucking classic trope of goth bands. You know, always the concert orgy. Who I'm kidding. It's not gothic bands. It's more Midwest emo bands. They just decided to skip today. Well, anyway, guess I'll log into ESO or something. God, there really is a time skip in the delusions. In the comment last episode, they did mention that there are time skips in the delusions, and this is definitely one of them. To me, ESO is my life. It's my happy place, a breath of fresh air that let me forget all about the real world. So long as I could immerse myself in ESO, I could forget all about all my troubles. I could stop being me and instead wander baseward as Nightheart. But today, for some reason, Nightheart was a little off. Yes, I knew that he relied entirely on my inputs and my decisions, but somehow I found myself struggling to pull off things I could normally do with my eyes closed. This game was supposed to be a breath of fresh air, but today the more I played it, the more irritated I got.
なんだよこいつ。捨てるぞお前。
I knew it was all my fault, but I still took my anger out on Nightheart.
ああもうムカつく。
God damn it! Fuck, man! Why can't I get the hot golf girl? Fuck! I yanked on my hair and kicked the bare steel wall. Ugh. Having let out all my anger, I took a deep breath and sat back down in my chair. I stared vacantly at my monitor. Nightheart was just standing there, facing towards the gates of the city of Shanguru, free of my control. His back was facing towards me, just as it always was when I fought enemies, and of course he was at the maximum level.
僕の経験値っていくつなんだろう。
Had the human known as Nishijou Takumi leveled up even slightly since he started playing ESO? No, since he'd been born. If I had, then why was I still so bad at talking to people even though I was nearly an adult? Why was I borderline shut-in? If I didn't log in as Nightheart for weeks, would he also turn into a shut-in like me? Whose eyes are those eyes? I suddenly remembered those words as I stared at Nightheart's back. I was mightily interested in what Nightheart would do when I wasn't controlling him. So figuring out to observe him for a little bit, I left my keyboard alone as I ate some chips. And then Nightheart suddenly turned towards the camera with hyper-realistic eyes that were dripping blood out of his sockets. And he said, "I am going to kill you." And then my computer crashed. Nightheart.exe
もしナイトハルトに自我があるとしたら。
Then surely he'd waltz right into the city of Shanguru, wind blowing against his shoulders, right? He was the hero everyone worshipped, after all. Oh, geez, well...
ねえ、ナイトハルト。
Oh my god.
僕はいつでもお前を見てるんだぞ。
Oh my god. I'm going to choose bad delusion since, you know, I just chose good one. Plus, I I really hope, I really do hope it does the creepypasta thing. The stupid fucking cliche creepypasta thing. I really hope Neidhart turns towards the camera and says, "I am going to kill you now, Takumi," with hyper-realistic eyes. Please, please. If I've never wanted a game to do that as much as this, please give me this one, Chaosed. Please give me creepypasta. Stupid video game creepypasta.
お前はそれに気づいてるの？
Oh shit, here we go. And then the monitor was enveloped in the dazzling light. Taken aback by how random and sudden it was, I shut my eyes.
気づいてないと思ったのか?
Oh shit. Then suddenly, I heard a voice.
いつも俺はお前の命令に従ってきたのに。
The voice was coming from the monitor.
俺の中の人がここまでバカだとは思わなかったぜ。
Damn. Who are you? I tried opening my eyes, but the light from before had completely paralyzed me. I couldn't see a thing.
もういい。俺はお前を捨てる。
Oh shit.
これからは自由に生きる。
No way. Are you Neidhart? What do you mean you're casting me out?
そのままの意味だ。だからお前はバカなんだ。
I'm the one that made your character. You wanna rebel against me?
そうだ。もううんざりだ。何が疾風陣雷だ。中二病にも程があるだろう。
Damn.
お前にわかるか？俺がどんな気持ちでそう呼ばれていたか。お前はかっこいいつもりだったかもしれないがな。俺からすれば恥ずかしいだけなんだよ。
Damn.
でも俺は自分の言葉を発することもできず、じっと耐えるしかなかったんだ。
うるさい！生意気だぞ！そんなこと言うなら消すぞ！
勝手にしろ。だがな、これだけは覚えておけ。お前が俺をボタン一つで消せるように、お前もお前の中の人にボタン一つで消される程度の存在なんだ。
Oh shit. What the hell?
まあ、実際にはそんなことあるわけないけどね。
I also like the little subtle, well, not, I wouldn't say subtle, but little allusions to the fourth wall right there. I mean, hell, there's been allusions to the fourth wall with the whole whose eyes are those eyes, you know, who is watching Takumi. I forced a laugh in response to my delusion and stared at Neidhart, just as always. He stood completely still and silent in the world of Baseward. I think I'll take things a bit easier today. With that thought in mind, I resumed my play session. Cool. Meanwhile, I'll tell you exactly what happened. I reluctantly decided to go to school today, but before I knew it, I found myself going to buy a phone with my little sister. I'm sure you don't understand what I'm saying, but I don't really understand it either. I thought I was going insane.
お兄、何ブツブツ言ってんの?
So he's finally getting a phone, huh?
それよりほら、この機種はどうかって聞いてるんだけど。
I think I want to go home. Besides, how many times do I have to tell you that I don't need a cell phone? God, it's after being a sister just brain dead. I had gone to school today and Nami had made her assault right in my classroom after happily saying, "Wow, you actually came to school today." She ordered me to go out and buy a phone with her once school was over. Once the bell rang, I tried to escape without her noticing, but I forgot how quick Nanami was on her feet. So after being chased and easily caught up to, I found myself being dragged all the way to the front of the station. I didn't want to go anywhere near the station. I felt like that the whole way there. Now I felt like I was going to throw up. Nanami, though, not giving a damn about what I felt, was busy admiring the many different models on display in the front of the store. I tried to wrap my hand around why exactly Nanami was so insistent about getting me a phone, but I just got a headache instead.
これ色が結構可愛いじゃん。いいと思うな。
Since she was asking for my opinion, I gave a simple reply.
それっていい？
でもな、お兄にはちょっと可愛すぎかも。似合わなさそう。
I like this little. I love her face here. Little pouty face. See, it didn't even matter what I said. It would happen regardless. Completely lost track of how many times I said that's fine by this point. She would ask for my opinion, but she didn't actually intend to listen to it. So exactly why 3D girls suck so much ass.
お兄、大丈夫？やっぱり人の多さにやられちゃった？マクディで休もうか？
MCD? The fucking prime hangout spot for DQNs? That place was hell incarnate! But I only shook my head no.
そっか。じゃあなるべく早めに決めるね。でもちょっと迷っちゃっててさ。
I decided to just leave Nanami behind and go home. While Nanami intensely examined the array of cell phones, I took my chance to slip away. Yeah, well, there he goes. Fucking brother of the year. Brother of the fucking year, man. Right as I turned towards 107, I saw something so strange it stopped me dead in my tracks. What was that? Across the crowds of people on the stairs to 107 stood a girl that stuck out like a sore thumb. Was she holding a sword? The color and aura it gave off felt somewhat similar to the mic stand FAS had been using at the concert. In fact, I'd said it was perfectly fair to think of them in the same vein. But even then, it was still one massive sword. Might have even been longer than FES's mic stand. To my surprise, the girl was wearing a sumo uniform. I couldn't make out her face from this distance, but despite holding something so conspicuous, the girl seemed relaxed as could be. She simply watched the people walk down the street atop the stairs. Talk about bravery. I was seriously impressed. I couldn't believe she was walking around right smack in the middle of Shibuya with that massive toy sword. Must have had one hell of a humiliation fetish. Was the sword a cosplay prop from some new anime? Then again, I was pretty familiar with all the anime that were airing. Was there really a series with a sword like that? Had swept under my radar? Of course, walking around Shibuya holding one would be too much for me, but the sword itself was pretty damn cool. Kinda wanted to get one, honestly. I wonder if I could get one in Akihabara. Even better if I could order it online.
お兄
Damn! Fuck! I was suddenly struck with an elbow to the back. Oh shit! Oh, and fucking Namari comes in with the elbow to the back of the head. Oh, the pain almost made me. By God, fucking JR comes down there. By God, Namari comes in on Takayumi with an elbow to the back. By God, and oh my God, is that Stone Cold Steve Austin? The pain almost made me black out and collapse on the spot. I turned around to find a Namami with her hands on their hips, sullen as could be.
もしかして逃げようとした？確かにナナが選ぶのに時間かけすぎたのは悪いと思うけどさ。だからってナナを置き去りにして逃げようとするなんてひどいよ。
I lazily shook my head from side to side.
お兄のバカ、携帯の電磁波の浴びすぎで腎臓を悪くして死んじゃえ。
God damn it, I also love this sprite. Fuck. I feel like Nanami has like the best like sprites in this game so far. I don't know, they're just so they're both cute and funny. The fuck was her deal?
一生懸命お兄のために選んであげてたナナがバカみたいじゃん。 こうなったらもう適当に決める。お兄なんてナナと同じ機種で十分だよ。
Nanami forcefully grabbed my arm.
本気で今日契約するんだからね。それまで絶対逃がさない。
わかったよ。話せよ。
わかったならさっさと来て。
They didn't have a clue like Nanami had gotten so worked up. She really was a pain in the ass. Yeah, I totally didn't walk out on her. Totally, man. In the end, Nanami picked out a model of ease, as if she hadn't just spent 10 years trying to choose. After spending around an hour on the contract and other technical stuff, I tried to finally head back home with my phone, but Nanami stopped me.
ナナが初期設定してあげるからマクディやろ。
Mickey D. Without waiting for a response, she grabbed me by the back of my collar and started dragging me to the nearest Mickey D against my will. Wait.
どうせお兄携帯持って帰っても電源入れずにほったらかしにするに決まってるんだから。
Okay. Alright. I think this really is just a photo of a fucking McDonald's. This background really is just a McDonald's, like, photo with, like, anime characters added in. I can so 100% tell. But I kinda love that. I love that a lot, actually. It's like how in the original versions of Higurashi and Yume Neko, the backgrounds were, like, actual photos with just, like, a bunch of filters placed over them. I kind of love it though.
ナナがちゃんと使えるようにしてあげる。
God damn it, how much longer was she planning to hold me hostage? Out of the places she could have chosen to do it, why Mickey D? The inside of the Shibuya MCD was the embodiment of chaos. There were shitloads of people, and none of them ever shut the hell up. Sheer amount of DQNs was off the chart. I don't know why, but there's just something so funny about this guy in particular right in front of the trash can. Because it is so obvious, at least to me. It's like, this is an actual trash can with like a fucking just anime character in front of it. At the table right next to us sat three DQN tier mothers dyed brown hair. To make things even better, they brought their kids with them. They just left their children, three little crotch goblins with red highlights, to be specific. They were running around the restaurant squealing their heads off. Instead of controlling them, they just kept on chanting away. Well, realistic. At a different table was yet another group of DQNs, this time made up of 4 high school guys all laughing like obnoxious pricks. Next, 2 high school girls complete with baggy socks and dyed brown hair sat opposite to each other, hyper-focused on their phones. They didn't even bother talking. Beside them was a snoring middle-aged businessman slumped down on this table, making pretty obvious that he was skipping out on work. But what really made me double-take was this table close by with a group of 5 elementary schoolers, some boys, some girls. They all sat there with their little school bags on the floor, happily chatting up with each other as their legs swung back and forth beneath the table. So, considering that it was, co-ed? Was it mixer? It was, wasn't it? Weren't they elementary schoolers? Come on, man. Well, regardless, the point is that as far as the eye could see, there were groups of people that I avoided like the plague. Nanami had no problem at all relaxing in a place like this. Me, on the other hand, just setting foot in here only served to make my headache and nausea 1,000 times worse. Wait, why the hell did I have to play along with my sister and stay here in the first place?
ねえねえ、着信メロディーはどうする？なんか希望ある？
Without even looking my direction, Nanami played along with my phone as she prodded me for an answer.
アニソン。
Andy-san.
却下。そんなだからお兄はオタクさんなんだよ。
Man, shut up! There's some good anime songs! You're the one asking me what I prefer. Come on, it's my phone, so at least let me pick what I want.
あ、そうだ。大村彼らの新曲にしたら？あれすっごくいい曲だよ。最近のナナのお気に入り。
それこそ却下だ。
Bullshit. I don't fucking listen to mainstream goddamn music.
まあ、お兄に大村彼らは似合わないか。
After showing how little she actually cared about what I thought, Naomi took a bite of one of her french fries. I should probably mention that this bitch asked for... I'm so sorry. I fucking love how I read this. I just like, just so casually like, I should probably mention that this fucking bitch. It's like, come on, man, that's your sister. Like, come on. Dude. Come on, Takumi, come on. This fucking bitch, fucking. Alright. I should probably mention that this bitch asked for a fish sandwich combo before dinner, one that I had to pay for. I, meanwhile, was feeling so garbage that my appetite was long gone. Piece of shit sister spoiling the appetite in mine? Fucking bullshit. God. Some of these lines fucking kill me. Like, it really does kill me. This fucking bitch. Oh, motherfucker. Fucking bullshit. Maybe the reason it's so funny to me is like, sometimes I do think this type of shit. Or, well, I mean, for God's sake, I swear it all the time. I was about to say all the fucking time, so there you go. I'll show my point. So it's like super funny to me when it's like in an actual game. But come on, man, that's your sister. Like, yeah, they could be annoying, but come on, man. For whatever reason, the Nami placed her bag on their lap and started digging through its contents. Then she probably took out... Uh-oh.
ゲロカエルの不良品
Another fucking Gero Froggy.
不良品じゃないよ。先週出たギョロリゲロカエル。
は
Gargoyle, huh?
知らないんだ。やっぱ遅れてるな、お兄は。ゲロカエルって毎週金曜日に新作が発売されてるんだよ。
Motherfuckers.
もう全部で12種類ぐらいあるんだから。
Seriously? Was there really enough demand for weekly releases? Yup.
ナナが携帯につけてるのは最初に出た普通のゲロカエルでしょ。で、次がデブッチョゲロカエルで、その次がカクカクゲロカエル。
Without skipping a beat, Nanami recited the names of the various Gero Froggies.
第4弾がのっぺらゲロカエルで、第5弾が輝くゲロカエル。
What would be Smooth Gero Froggy?
第6弾が一番人気があって、猫ゲロカエルっていうの。
Of course. Wait, a cat frog? Come on, man.
その後が幽霊ゲロカエル、眠るゲロカエル、燃えるゲロカエル、ゾンビゲロカエル、酔っ払いゲロカエル。
How the hell did she remember all those? Hang on, had she?
お前コンプリートしてるの
もちろんだよ。全部集めなきゃ意味ないもん。毎週買うのに行列ができるんだからね。
For a half-assed piece of garbage like that? To be honest, even I could shit out a better design. Alright, artist, alright. Wait, why had she even decided to start lecturing me on Gero Froggies to begin with?
というわけで、このギョロリゲロカエルあげる。
なんで
このストラップを携帯につければ、少しは女子から「お、やるな」っていう目で見てもらえるから。
But they're saying that Nami started to put the strap on my phone. I don't want that. What the fuck?
コンプしなきゃ意味ないんだろ。僕がそれもらったらお前揃わないぞ。
心配しなくても大丈夫。2つ買ったもん。
Of course.
毎回2つ使ってるのか。
I was starting to seriously doubt her aesthetic tastes.
今回だけだよ。お兄の携帯用に余分に買ったの。
わざわざ。
わざわざ。
Having now finished attaching the strap, Nami gave a satisfied nod before wrapping her mouth around her soda straw. And suddenly, she suddenly leaned forward, startling me.
別に並んだのはお兄のためじゃないよ。あくまでついでなんだから。
いらない。
Come on, man.
は
Still leaning forward, Nanami opened her eyes wide. She looked like she might fall to me at any moment.
あ、いらないって。ナナがわざわざ買ってきてあげたのに。
ついでだったんだろ。っていうか、僕ゲロカエルンとか興味ないし、むしろキモいし。
God damn it, man. Just take the fucking Garo Froggy. I just want to create an image. You guys know that meme of like a bloody hand with a like broken monitor? The caption is like, every time Takumi's mean to Namami. That's me right now. Bro, fucking take the damn frog.
だからお兄は女子にモテないんだよ。
Just fucking take it, asshole. Come on, man. I almost expected her to slap me, but surprisingly, Namami managed to win her temper and sit back down. Then, instead of taking her anger out on me, she started nibbling on a fly instead as she sulked.
でも抵抗しても無駄だからね。ギョロリゲロカエルン、もうくっつけちゃったもん。
She sure was acting like the queen of everything. Then again, I knew jack shit about cell phones, so it was true that Nami knew best here.
もし勝手に外したら毎週並んでもらうの刑だからね。
並ぶって何に？
決まってんじゃん。新作ゲロカエルンを買うための行列。2時間待ちとか普通だから。
Damn. Not a chance in hell. No way was I going to let my sister hit me with a bird like that. For a while after that, Nami wordless we continued to fiddle around with my phone. I wasn't particularly picky about whatever she was setting up, so I was honestly grateful for the silence.
なんだか変な気分だな。
The next time she opened her mouth, her sullen demeanor from before had completely disappeared. I guess she only needed a few minutes to get annoying shit instead of having to sweep it off. Talk about easy going. In a way, I envied her.
うん、やっぱ変だよ。お兄とこうして2人で出かけるのって久しぶりな気がするもん。いつ以来かな。よく思い出せないや。お兄はいっつも部屋にこもってアニメ見てるかゲームしてるかだもんね。ま、たまにはこういうのもいいかな、新鮮で。さすがに毎日はナナも嫌だけど。
Nanami placed my phone on the table and picked up her fish sandwich. Sadly undid the wrapping, then hardly sank her teeth into it. Kind of think of it, I feel like she said at one point that the fish sandwich here was her favorite food.
せいぜい太るがいいさ。
Come on, man. Nanami instantly stopped moving. She glared at me menacingly. Then, after hesitating for a second, she bashfully held out her half-eaten fish sandwich.
半分食べる？
もう手遅れだよ。
そういうこと言うと上司に嫌われるって覚えといた方がいいよ、バカ鬼。
Nami ended up finishing the fish sandwich all on her own. What a fucking fat ass. Come on, it's a fish sandwich. It's like one fish sandwich, dude. Come on. Oh shit. Look at that homeless guy. Anyway, Connor, fucking Takumi is really the epitome of that one comic panel of like a short guy being like, oh, look at that fucking asshole, and it's like it goes over to like a normal looking guy, and there's a bubble that next to him like normal guy. What a fucking asshole. That's just Takumi in a nutshell. Anyway, what is this? Judgment is nigh for this city. Well, that is not That's not at all menacing at all. After that, Nanami held me hostage with hours of useless chatter. By the time I finally had my phone back, it was already dark. It had been a long, painful few hours, but eventually I was able to get away from Nanami and start heading back home. Fall seemed to be in full swing now, with the night breeze carrying a slight chill, one that soothed my headache and nausea. Those two things never failed to torment me whenever I spent a long time in crowds. Honestly, Nanami, kill yourself. Okay, don't actually, but still, kill yourself. Well, he does care a little bit. He does care just a little tiny bit. Don't actually, but still, kill yourself. She only ever thought about herself. She probably didn't even have a clue about how much torture she constantly inflicted on me. If I had the option, I'd love to snap my new phone cleanly in half right now and throw it into the nearest trash can. It wasn't like I bought it with my own money after all. But if I actually did that, it wouldn't just be Nami that come to my base, but my parents too. And then, without picking up on a damn thing, they just go, "Oh, since it broke on you, let's go and buy you a new one," like the idiots they were. Thus, I reluctantly suppressed my urges to smash the damn thing. With these 3D model fucking characters. Weird. I needed to get home and quickly. Could hear another night of ESO calling my name. The single day had passed recently that hadn't filled with endless anxiety. I really hoped my peaceful everyday life would hurry up and come back already. Yeah, definitely peaceful everyday life. And that night, another grotesque case occurred. The fourth new-gen case. Ooh. Like always, Grim laid out the details to me when I was playing ESO. Okay, another one. Sup, Grim? Bit later than usual today, eh? Whose eyes are those eyes? What? I couldn't believe my eyes. Why did Grim know that phrase? I was completely taken aback. My fingers trembled on the keyboard. I didn't even know where to start with responding. Hell, even just looking at what he typed nearly took everything out of me. The fourth new-gen case happened. Been following the shit sorted this whole time. Things be really hitting up in Shibuya. This one's seriously fucking crazy, dude. Well, the victim's corpse had all the brain completely drained out. Found them dead in the Inuyasha station bathroom. And the corpse was really something. Skin had turned green all over. Freaky. Seriously goddamn freaky. Well, if you start thinking that the cold theories might even be true to BH, there's no way a person could do this. I bit my lip as I watched the messages flow. Yeah, how the fuck did he know that phrase? Was it written in blood in the bathroom? And also, wait. Let's not to forget that Takumi did see a girl with a quote-unquote giant sword at underneath the 107 building. We can't forget about that. We did gloss over it, but I'm not forgetting that. My imagination came very close to forming an image, but I was just barely able to keep that delusion at bay. I took a gulp of cola from the bottom to calm myself somewhat. Damn that Grim. He had to be ambushing me like this on purpose. No reaction. How do you know so much about it? You're talking almost like you were there. Well, something like that. Also, I guess you're still not interested in this stuff, Nightheart. New gen and all that jazz. Not enough to follow it. Too busy grinding in ESO. Never change or lightning fast, Nightheart. True video game addict that puts the rest of us to shame. That's why we love you. That's why we admire you. That's why we love you. That's why we am. I so know where that comes from. That's why we admire. Quotation from a popular manga about bizarre. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's. Yeah. It's. Damn. There's a lot of. What the hell is with all these bizarre, South motherfucking JoJo reference? Yeah. I I didn't really want to talk about New Gen, so I somehow managed to fool Grim into bringing the topic to an end. By the way, take a look at this. Oh boy. Auction. What do you think? Auction's that taboo, huh? I'm sensing some serious bait. Last time he done this, he acted like it was some gory shit, only for it to be some random dumbass meme. This time could very well be the opposite. Huh? Says we don't know about it? About what? Are you actually alongside her, Nightheart? Fuck off. Fine, what is it? What if I said it's related to your precious serotonin? For real? Then I had to work. As far as I could tell, the URL looked like it linked to some auction page, so it probably wouldn't crash my browser or hit me with anything mentally scarring. Hopefully. Slightly excited, I opened the link. Dumbass. Oh. Type B blood and shorts. What the hell's with this? Like, first we got that pamphlet from after Takumi got out of the hospital. Type B blood and short supply. I felt like I'd seen that title somewhere before. Might have been deja vu again. Anyway, more importantly, where Anyway, more importantly, where'd that where'd that fap worthy serotonin pick? I spun my mouse wheel and scrolled down the page. Yeah, that's just yeah, I fucking knew it. I knew it. I fucking knew it was going to be a picture of a dead body. And also, what the fuck happened to that guy? Wait. I could tell at a glance that the image that came up on my monitor was obviously gore. I averted my gaze to my left monitor and panicked and quickly closed the browser. No, what the wait. Okay, what the fuck was up with that guy's body? Why? It seemed like his skin was ripped off and it was green? What the fuck? The gore had only been on my screen for less than 3 seconds, and the time I spent actually looking at it was even less than that, but even so. This picture of the corpse in the 4th New Gen case, before the mass media started reporting on it. It's being sold on an auction like it's totally normal. It's like they're putting a price at the victim's tragic state itself. So basically the seller is 100% the New Gen culprit. Isn't that insane? The seller name is Vampire. Well, actually, it's probably just some throwaway. Even so, this has already caused a total shitstorm online. Been posted all over tons of image boards. There's even memes. Jesus. It's like Wolf 34. People do this shit way too fast. Okay. Fucked up, but it's the internet. What do you expect? Selling it online, huh? It has to be. Well, it's obviously someone fucking around, maybe. Sell it online? The hell? Oh yeah, did you notice a dying message in the image? Dying message? It's written on the wall with the victim's blood. Still can't believe it's there. The culprit probably did it for shits and giggles. Hello? Nightheart-san? You alive? Is your computer frozen? Dying message. I'd only seen the image for an instant, and yet...
ゲームだ。こんな世界は虚構のゲームの世界に違いないんだ。
It's those... Whose eyes are those eyes again? What the fuck is... Shit, maybe... Oh, does he have a second personality? Does he have a second fucking personality? Because we did have a time skip from the concert to his house. So the victim's last message, when swappily and deep red blood, had been burned into my mind. No matter how much I tried not to think about it, the letters rose one by one on my closed eyelids, urging me to realize them.
なんであの言葉がここで出てくるんだ。
And it was also on his fucking blackboard in the school as well. We can't forget that either. I knew those words all too well, words I often murmured to myself. Words I asked nobody in particular. The words Grim at first said when I jumped on ESO. It was like they were everywhere now. Those words that I had never actually said to anyone throughout my entire life. What the fuck? Oh, what the hell is his skin? It's like mold or some shit. Oh, chapter 2 done. Chapter 3, Shogun. Ooh. Hey, nice quick save. You know what? I feel like this is a good stopping point right here, folks, since it's the beginning of a new chapter and such. But, holy shit, huh? Holy shit, indeed. So another case has happened, and the media, finally at a crime scene, have written down whose eyes are those eyes. Is Takumi behind these? That's the real question. And what is up with these fucking girls? We met up with one of them. She's the lead singer of a goth band. But what about the other girl that was like burning all of her books in a furnace? What's the deal with her? When are we going to meet her eventually? Son of a bitch. God, the more and more I get into this game, the more it's like, I don't know what the hell is happening. I still feel like we're still on the surface. We're still on the tip of this iceberg. We haven't really delved into what this story is about. We're still on the edge. We're almost there, even though we're in chapter 3, and I don't know how many chapters there are in this game. But it still feels like we're not even. We haven't breached the like ocean waters yet, to keep with the iceberg metaphor. Son of a bitch. But it still got me hooked. It really has still got me hooked. I'm still interested in see like just to know what the fuck's going on. That's really what I want to know. What the fuck is actually going on? You know, who is behind these new gen murders? Is it Takumi? You know? And there's also the signs of like the end of the world as well. With the whole Shogun being like, you know, the world's possibilities have been limited by that equation. The, you know, FES's, you know, lyrics before she, not lyrics, before she went into her song about the balance of the world cracking. And then that homeless guy's sign of like, this city is doomed. Like, we're kind of having overtones of like the end of the world, and how we saw that with the intro, where it was like a ruined Shibuya as well. So like, it's culminating to something. But what that something is, we don't know. What disaster is going to strike Shibuya? And how is it connected to New Gen? How is it connected to Takumi? And who the fuck knows that phrase? Whose eyes are those eyes besides Takumi? It really is pointing to Takumi, or whoever Shogun is who somehow knows that phrase, because maybe they have precognition, or maybe, they have some sort of future sight, right? Because they have photos of the crimes from the future, right? With the whole, like, cross thing. And it featured both the corpse and Takumi in the picture as well. So it's like, what the fuck is going on? Like, son of a bitch. What is going on in this damn game? Oh, I can't wait to get more into it. Next time, folks. But yeah, if you guys have enjoyed this video, hit that subscribe button. If you liked it, hit the like button. If you tell me something, put it down in the comments below. Check out Discord server I own in, or my Twitter. Check description below. And yeah, it's been Voidlego. I'll see you guys next time. See ya!